Caught before the winds get up again. It's like gently tugging at the bottom of the sheet. Morning, this is Jay of I Wander UK on my 4th day of the South Down Ways Challenge there and back. It's a little bit windy out here. I'm on a slope. It's sunrise, but you can't see it that way where it's coming up from, but you may be able to see it on the hills behind me a little bit. It's literally just 6 o'clock. No, about 6:05 to be honest with you. And I'll talk to you more in a bit when I'm a little bit out of the wind. The sun's not on us yet. I'm trying to block the wind with my body, but you can see on the hills behind me, about halfway down there. Join me in watching the sun come up over the hill. That wasn't hugely successful. The wind's just blown the tripod over. And it's taken longer. I'm looking to the west and I can see it much clearer on the hills on the other side here. Difference there already. It was halfway up about the other side of that pylon. You see so much more detail in the low sun, can't you? You may be able to see where I am now. Part of the problem I had last night, beside it being slopey, these cows, you could just about see them now. They started off on a hill over there and I wasn't sure if they were going to come round or go down this valley. As always, leave no trace. Good morning, this is Jay from I Wander UK. Better start. The wind's still out, but I'm slightly out of it now. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm back on track now, and we're just dropping down to Boltoffs. I'm going to pick up a little bit of water. From there we're walking out to Washington. I'm going to spend some time up on Chanctonbury Hill, I believe it's called. I'm probably slaughtering that, I apologise. And from there, hopefully dropping slightly short of Amberley for the night. It was a bit windy last night. I had a lot of problems finding a location, so it was really late before I got the tent up. The tent didn't go up till 20 to 8 last night, and sunset was at 8 o'clock. So yeah, it's just one of those things, can't be helped. I knew of an area, but when I got there, when I walked through Eastbound, there was no cows, and it's open access land. On the way back there were cows. I just needed to see which direction they were going. Fortunately enough, they went down the valley, but I couldn't find anything that even resembled level. So my comfort last night was not great. My back's stiff anyway. I think I've probably said before, I have got a bad back, and had some sleep, but then the wind combined with it as well. I woke up this morning and I've just started, we're back on track, like I said, dropping down to Boltoffs, and my legs don't seem to want to work. They're really stiff, but we'll get on with the day. Today's going to be sunny. As you can see, it's blue skies all around us now. There's a little bit of wind. I think the wind's dropping a bit later, but it's going to be sunny all day today, so let's get on with it. Here's the drop down to Boltoffs. My knees are feeling it today. It's not all glamorous open countryside. Just dropped down into Boltoffs there. Little trailer in the lay-by. Fodder box, I think it was called. Had a lovely bacon and egg roll and another cup of tea. I'll tell you the reason why later on. I just need to get some calories inside me today. But yeah, open Wednesday to Sunday. Just ask the bloke who owns it. Literally, as soon as you leave the road, 100 metres, this huge tree here, and there's a signpost there. And there's the trough over there, where you can fill your water up. always said I like to allow myself enough time on walks now that I can engage with other people. I think if you're too pressed, you've got too much timetable, you never have time for other people, and I think you're missing out there. And I'll be honest, I normally apply that to other like-minded people, basically. People are out walking and stuff, but just sitting down there having my bacon roll there, had a really quite philosophical chat with another bloke for about 10 minutes. Dan, originally from the Bahamas, and he was telling me about, we were discussing like the challenges and rising to the challenges of life and not be frightened to try and achieve things. There's nothing wrong with being wrong, and how he stays calm. He's like that Caribbean type of chill out. Really nice discussion. That bloke's with me again today. I was considering this last night as an option, coming down off the hill up there and camping down here on the long grass by the river. Well, I didn't know there was long grass, and I didn't know you could access it, so I wasn't quite sure. And I know there's a farmhouse nearby, so that's why I stayed up in the hills. The reason I took advantage of the trail this morning, even though I had a cup of tea and porridge when I first woke up 6 this morning, I'm not sure what I'm going to be getting through today. At Washington, I'm cutting straight across. Before I went down into Washington, had a couple of pints of Guinness, which was very nice. But then I had a challenge on the way back up to get back on the hill. I cut through from the pub, and one of the locals said, "Oh, you've just come up Cardiac Hill," and I know exactly what he means. It was a bit of a challenge. But today, last week, sorry, on day 6 I think it was, I had a bit of a dilemma, one with the tent pegs and 2 with the tea bags. So I managed to resolve that in Eastbourne and picked up some individual tea bags. But now I've got a twofold problem. I'm very low on milk and I'm very low on gas, and it's just a case of which one runs out first. Now, I love my tea in the morning, but I could probably do without it in regard to having a hot meal at night. So I think I'm going to have to save my gas for the hot meals at night. I'm looking forward to today's walk. I'm tired in the head and my legs didn't seem to work, but I think they're starting to warm up now. But yeah, I'm looking forward to today's walk. Today is day 4 on the Westbound journey, or 12 from the there and back, or yeah, there and back. But during the day it is going to be sunny all day, but hopefully not too sunny, but it starts becoming a bit of a challenge. But looking forward to just east of Washington. The hills up there are lovely, so I'm going to try and take some time up there, pick up some water, and then get through to Amberley, and I'm hoping I'll be just east of Amberley, which is the halfway mark, and I'll be happy with that because I'll be on schedule end of day 4, and I've got an 8-day sort of itinerary. It's not an itinerary, 8-day idea to actually get all the way back to Winchester. So if I can make it there today, I'll be a happy boy. Just reflecting back a little bit on the conversation I had with the bloke Dan in the lay-by back there in Boltos, and I said to him, when I was younger I used to live on the philosophy, what's the worst that can happen? And if you can deal with that, do it. I need to do that again. Just a little look back, we've just ascended up here, and central screen now is where we drop down. Right off with that gash, I want for a word, coming down there. Luxury pig accommodation with black and white mascots, overseers. Just walking through these pictures reminded me, when I left school in the 70s, I had to get a job. I left school on the Thursday and started working in a chicken factory on the Monday. My brother, however, the following year, 11 months younger than me, there wasn't much options in fairness. Decided to work on a pig farm, which he loved. I can recall when he used to get home, Mum would make him strip off outdoors before and then wash down with a bucket of water, normally cold, before he even came in the house. Don't get me wrong, the house wasn't that posh, but he just stunk. And it wasn't just his overalls, as in stripped down naked. Just made me smile walking through those piggeries there. Coming through Boltoffs, you do a gentle ascent along a tarmac road that then turns into like the flint paths that we're all used to by now. And now we're through the piggery and we're out into the open again. And we're going up that way and across up there. And look at how blue the sky is. Hello, what are you doing? We've got a bit of an escape one. The view on the left hand side of the piggeries is perhaps not the nicest thing, but the view to the right is, yeah, I'm running out of words to say staggering. Fine little spot for a sit down and a rest. You are next to a road, but it's a reasonably quiet road, but you've got great views back. One of the great things on this walk that I've sort of come to settle down with myself now is that I can't always take pictures of outstanding, you know, hills, beacons or something, a monument, because there isn't that many, but it's the sheer expanse of space. It's why I go up on Dartmoor similar. It's almost desolate, Dartmoor, in some places, but that sense of just being out in so much space is brilliant. There's the radio station where the youth hostel is. There's the last little look back before I get over to the next brow of the hill and we lose these views. We're heading up to the brow of this hill where I'm going to take a break because that heat is hot already. Oh, breeze just came just as I turned around into the sun. The sun behind me is too bright, you can't see my face at all. But you could just see I'm perspiring, or is it glowing? Let's not get into that discussion again. It's a beautiful day, it's a lovely day for walking. Perhaps a little bit too hot, but now we're up again. That little breeze sort of balances it out between the heat of the sun and the breeze. Let's hope it stays that way. That last photo was a look back. I just stopped and had a break. Hold on. That better, yeah. I just stopped and had a break there. I'm having a really odd today. Great day, but really odd day. This morning, my thighs felt really stiff. I'm not complaining about my knee again, but my legs, my calves were tight and my thighs were over tight, and I couldn't get them loose normally after a couple of minutes walking. So I took it easy coming down to Boltoffs. I had that sandwich and then just took myself nice and easy and warmed my legs up again. And now I'm walking like a machine. I feel like I can't stop. It's just, yeah, crazy. It's walking like a machine day. As I'm walking up here just with a few trees to my right hand side, I caught glimpses down below there. I think it's a festival or something. And I can remember being east of Washington on my 4th night eastbound. And asked someone about it and they said it gets huge. I will walk to the top of the hill to have a look over to the right hand side as we're walking now to have a look at that again. Just talking to a couple there for 10, maybe even 15 minutes about walking. Hold on, I'll turn around, you might be able to see me. Yeah, that's a little bit. That's where I'm going up there. And I could have been there about half an hour ago, but I was talking to the couple for about 10-15 minutes ago. 10-15 minutes. The cyclist came by and went, all right, you made it back. And I thought, do I recognise that person? And normally I'm really good with faces. I'm hopeless with names, really good with faces. Finished talking to the couple, came up the rest of the hill there, and he's on his way back down again. He stopped and said, all right, we met you on the morning of your 5th day. When I camped up here on the 4th night, the morning of the 5th day to start, they were out there walking the dog in the morning. So I've met him twice in 8 days. But it's lovely to someone actually recognise, and I know he's a like-minded person. He cycles and walks. He's already been out for a 2-hour walk this morning with his dog. He's come back and he's taken his bike out for a couple of hours on a bank holiday Monday. Does it get any better? I don't know. What a great day. I love it when I meet people, like-minded people who have a chat. It's one of the things I don't do enough when I'm at home. I'm a bit of a hermit. I camped out here on the night of the 4th because it's really high up here and its view's just fantastic. I couldn't do anything else. And the wind that night was, got hardly any sleep. So I'm going to take a good break up here. I'm going to sit down, take in the views and stuff and assess for a while, because I've done really well on the walk this morning. For some reason I started off with robot legs. Yeah, robot legs. And then the only thing I could do was push through it to get them working again. And after about 30 to 40 minutes, they came into their own, and then I've been the most comfortable I've been in the last, well, this westbound journey. Everything just clicked into place. It's hot, as you can probably tell. I can't even, I'm in the shade if I get the sun behind me. It's hot, but there's a nice little breeze up here. But yeah, I was a walking machine this morning. I can't believe it. And I don't want to walk that fast. So I walk that fast when I train, to be honest with you. I train most mornings, have a day off once every week or 2 weeks and stuff like that. And I go just over 5 miles. But I try and keep up a 4-minute mile pace because I'm not carrying. I want to push myself to sort of equalise out for when I am carrying. But yeah, this morning I'm a warrior. I don't know if I'm a warrior. I am a warrior. But yeah, walking machine this morning, so I need to take a rest up here. Washington's about another 1.5 miles, I'm guessing. I need to look at the map probably, to be honest with you. And then I was going to stop just short of Amberley, but I'm starting to consider now, do I drop down to Amberley and try and find somewhere the other side just to get a couple of miles on myself? Because today's Monday and I know the weather's going to change on Wednesday. I think tomorrow's going to be windy, and Wednesday and Thursday the rain's coming in. If not Tuesday night, the rain might be coming in. So if I can get a bit of a hop on myself, obviously I don't want to go too far because then I'll be start leapfrogging myself. But if I can get a couple of miles on myself, and then if I'm not having such a good day, then I'm all good. I'd really recommend when you're on this part of the walk, I'm not even going to try and pronounce it, I'll try. Chanctonbury Ring. You can see the natural path leading and it goes roundwards that way. I suggest having a couple of minutes, or even have your break up here and walk to this side of it. I see, yeah, there's a couple of people up there. Just that side, to get the view on the other side of the hill. It does give you some idea of scale if you think there's at least a couple of 100 cars there. I'm not going to zoom in. The view's to the left of us now, looking south, all the way back to the sea. It's sad to leave it. It's one of my favourite spots, I must admit. To the right as far as we can see as well. And we're going out. Perhaps this little divot would have been a much better idea. Yeah, definitely down here. Because we've got protection from the lump on this side and protection from the lump on that side. So unless the wind was coming from that way, but we're just there, and I was on the other side of there and the wind was coming from that way. The difference the sun makes when it drops into shadow like that, the temperature difference, just there's a couple of trees and shrubs along this a little bit on the left hand side, and the sun's quite high and it's on my face now, and the difference being in the shade to when you come back out in the sun again immediately. Whoa. Nature's a marvellous thing, isn't it, with shade. Just turned the corner and the sun's behind me again. I definitely need to be putting some suntan lotion on my face because I'm be travelling and it'd be basically on my left hand side all afternoon. I need to make that decision as I drop down to Washington to pick up some water, and I need to pick up some water anyway. But do I pick up the full amount, 2.5 litres, and then carry it for 5 miles from the other side of Washington to just shy of Amberley, about a mile from Amberley? Or do I just pick up a litre just for now, push on through all the way down to Amberley, treat myself to a pint, because it's the end of the 4th day and Amberley is the halfway point officially, and I'm still not sure what to do. I'm just going to say this isn't too steep. I was just going to say this isn't too steep, but Some people are needed to push the cycles up here, so it must be quite steep. It's not too bad. It's a bit rough on the feet, but not as rough as some of them where you need to pick where you're walking. Some of the way down the hill through the woods, there's still some more trees, sorry, through the woods. There's this little gate here and there's some nice little flat areas out there. You'd have some good views. Not sure if it was an old quarry or something like that. If you're going past this Washington pressure reducing station and you're going uphill, 50 metres after that, on the left hand side is a beautiful flat piece. This nice little drop down before we get to the road that we need to cross Washington is also nice. It's got nice little bits of shade in it, so it's lovely. I could have taken the safe bit here and just gone into Washington, dropped down into Washington, perhaps gone for a pint and picked up some water there, but I'm determined to find all these water taps. So I've come across the main road. Now I need to find this elusive water tap. After you cross the road, if you're travelling westbound, you go directly up a slope and the road bends to the left. As you bend to the left, I'll take it from the other view. There's two houses that's on your left hand side, right next to a sign. So as you're travelling up the hill, this is what we're looking for. Oh, it even tells me where I'm going, look. And that's what we want. Now that I've found the tap, I'm going to take the opportunity. I had to take my rucksack on anyway to do the bottles. So I've wet my hair, as you can probably see, and I'm taking advantage of the fact that we're in the shade. Going to put some suntan lotion on. And then, yeah, you guessed what I chose to do. I've got just over ½ litre in both of my bottles and my little one, so about 1.5 litres of water. I'm going to try and get through to Amberley and treat myself to a pint. The walk up from the tap is Tarmac Road, and it is a walk up. It's not super steep, but it's steep enough to get me slightly panting. As I said, made the decision I'm going to push through to Amberley, get a drink there, some more water, and push out the other side for a bit. Made the decision. Got water, maybe because I've got an extra kilo and a bit maybe on board. Maybe because I'm just tired. But my legs have gone to lead again coming up this hill. I'm hoping it's just a hill, but I can't walk. My legs have literally gone like robots again. And then it's decided to turn into this flint type path. Quick look back there, I think that might be Washington down there. Should have gone for a pint there, shouldn't I? It would have been easier. To quote my girlfriend Elle, it's your career choice. The climb up from the tap does seem long, but it's not too aggressive once you get your pace going. I think it's probably just me because it's the afternoon and it's hot. But the views, like I was discussing earlier, I'm not even going to zoom in, but just the open space you have. Looking back to the hill where we were before, but every which way you look there's a 360. This water kettle trough, if you're desperate for water, it's got like the tap on the top. Got to get your bottle under there and just a little bar with a stopcock on and just... I realise the water in the trough doesn't look that great, but I'd drink it out that tap. If you're stuck for a wild camp, there's a little bit of level bit on both sides of this barn, depending on which way the wind's coming. On our left. It looks really tempting, isn't it? There's a lot of open areas on this first stretch, first half. I don't know what mileage I've done so far, to be honest with you. But you also need to be wary. Every now and again it sort of comes in on itself. I'll show you what I mean. We've gone from almost, I'm going to call it a meadow, and with a nice wide path up the middle or the side with, you know, acres of land around you, to these narrow paths. I keep hearing small little planes when I turn around. They're tugging gliders behind them. I've seen 3 so far, but I can't catch them on camera, I'm afraid. This is what this walk's all about. It's just being out here. So the centre of screen now, that little tiny little bit green, greener than everything else. Imagine that's a huge field. Look at that. 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 And just as you get used to the views to your left, which you never would, this opens out to the right. Just coming into view now is the first glimpses of the river that runs into Amberley, so we're getting near. These sheep haven't got a bad deal, have they? I wonder if they sit up here and look out and go, wow, oh, what a great view. Here's another great resting spot. I might mark it on the map when I do the video, but you can see down into the village of Amberley. Sort of an extended bit of village there and there. We're walking to the end there and then dropping down, but the views up here are brilliant. I'll definitely put a reference or something on here. I noticed this way, this path on the way through, this nice grass, smooth grass rather than just come down through, and that's flinty and stuff, so I was trying to save my legs a little bit because I've still got some more to do in the day. The previous photo I just took then is the two little high points on there. They've got great views. Sit down there and just take in the world. Really, really great views. Up there was one of my options for sort of camping maybe, and then another one when I first came through this field looked nice and level at the other end. Last pictures, I'm looking back behind me. I've just come down it basically, but that's a little bit of a steep one. That it's in the cyclists, and the cyclists are getting off and pushing their bikes up there. Because I'm on a tarmac road and I can't see where I'm walking, but it's smooth. Here's a little thought for the end of the day, if you like. Is there an app, and if not, will someone please invent it, where you could have it on your phone and you point your phone in a direction and it tells you what's in the distance? I'm not looking for like OS maps or all trails or anything like that. You know, like when you're on a beacon and you get those laser discs and it shows you stuff off in the distance. I'm talking like that. From here you could look and it'd go, oh, such and such is 5 mile away, blah blah's 10 mile and such is 20 mile away where you pointed the phone. That'd be great, wouldn't it? Anybody invents that, the app for itself would be great for me, please, for free, and a small licensing fee. Care of Jay, thank you very much. Making our way down to the last bit to Amberley. The road's on the other side of this hedge to the left, but at least to save us walking down the road. It's quite busy, even though it's a small road. I'm not actually going into Amberley village, I'm dropping down to the railway station. There's a tea room, a cafe type thing in the morning where I've had breakfast before, and there's also a pub. I went for the pint of Guinness and dry roast peanut diet. Very nice it was too. And I've been, oh my word, I've been sitting in shade for the last however long it took me to drink my pint slowly and rest my knee. Oh, I've mentioned my knee, I'm sorry. Whatever. But it's 5:30 now and the sun's still warm. I've resisted the temptation to not stay up on the hills. I'm taking a gamble, which considering last night's gamble didn't pay off. Hopefully tonight's will. And just stroll out by the river here and see if I can find somewhere. So wish me luck. I thought of a name for that product as well, where you could just put your phone in it and tell you what's in the distance. IC, like the letter I dash the letter C. Come on, there's got to be good. The problem I have, I've obviously walked this way before, but from the opposite direction, but I have no recollection of it apart from the bridge, because I was looking forward to breakfast that much. So yeah, hopefully it pays off. What can I say? Another day done. I don't mean to like a throwaway remark like day done, but I completed another day, and that was day 4. Started off in Boltoff's rubbish pitch last night. Had to walk back to the path for about half a mile, 3/4 of a mile, and then down the hill. But then found that little trailer in the lay-by, which was added bonus. There's a train I just heard. I'm at Amberley. Added bonus, so I had a bacon and egg roll and another cup of tea, which was ideal to really get me going. Went past the water point. My legs really wouldn't work this morning. I've not had them like that before. I've had stiffness and you don't want to move them, but they literally didn't want to work. They felt like they weren't my legs. But managed to push through it after about 30-40 minutes. They seemed to come into their own, and then it went the opposite way. I became like a walking machine, which was good, but I'm not trying to rush this route at all. That's why I've only limited myself to like 13 mile a day. But soon got through to Washington. Had a sit up on the top of the hill there. The name of it I still can't remember, or even going to try and pronounce. Chaucer's Circle. But I love it up there. The views up there are brilliant. Give yourself some time there. Dropped down to Washington to find that elusive tap that I never found on the way through, coming the other way. So I think I know where all the taps are now, which I will put a list on. I might even make a separate video with the locations on, picture location. Yeah, I should do that for definite. And then from Washington, it was about midday. I was doing really well, and then bumped into a couple and had a really nice conversation with them. Likewise, she was a DOE instructor. He's outdoorsy type, and we had a lengthy discussion with him, and literally left them, and there was another bloke that was on a push bike who recognised me and got in conversation with him. He recognised me from on the way eastbound on day 4, and I didn't recognise him because he got a helmet on and a push bike. When I saw him, he was walking the dog. So I had a chat with him as well, and I'm not complaining about that at all. I've always factored in time to be able to stop and talk to people. But I was a little bit later than I thought to leaving Washington, if you like, because I wanted to spend a little bit of time up there, but there's no problem. And then Washington through to Amberley. Well, I was originally looked at a place, spotted a place on the way through. I identified it on Google Maps and OS Maps before I even left, and I thought, no, that's ideal. And when I come through, there was some cattle at the other end. This was 8 days ago. Today there wasn't any. But I know the wind's coming from the south tonight, and it's very exposed up there, and I really need some sleep, as you can probably tell. These eyes, well, they always look old, but these eyes aren't quite as puffy as this, and I can tell the lack of sleep is getting on top of me now. So I wanted to get a little bit more sleep, so I pushed my luck a little bit, dropped down into Amberley, had a pint of Guinness, did me the world of good, and I've just dawdled out from the village. 15 minutes. I'm alongside the river now, so I'm sitting chilling. It's gone 6:30 now. The sun is still hot. I mean, you can tell I haven't got my shirt on, and I've seen 3 people walk past all in one group, and you can probably tell it's a no man's land. I'll show you in a minute. So I'll just sit here, chill till 7ish, make sure there's nobody about, maybe 7:30, and then put my tent up then. But I can't see it bothering anybody anyway. Everybody I spoke to, I pitched literally 3/4 of a mile from anywhere last night on some open access land, and I just put the tent up, literally just put the tent up at 20 to 8, and a bloke came past and he apologised because his dog was paying too much attention, and he was nothing but encouraging. Anyway, that's me for the night, unless you're going to get the obligatory sunset shot. You probably won't get the sunrise because I've got these bushes behind me. I'm going to have a problem in the morning drying the tent, but I'll deal with that tomorrow. It's no big deal, is it? Because I'm quite close to the river. There's sure to be some moisture in the air, but I can live with that. So hopefully I get a peaceful night. There is a road nearby, not too far away. It's only when you hear the nutters on, like loud exhausts, and there's a train, but I can live with that as well. So this is Jay at the end. Last thing I meant, you know why I dropped into Amberley, don't you? It's the halfway mark, and if I'd stopped myself a mile and a half short, I just wouldn't have, I'd have been tossing and turning in bed. I needed to be halfway. I'm an 8-day challenge, and I'm 4 days in, so I wanted to get halfway. Just heard a train there, can't you? Not too bad, is it? So that's why I dropped into Amberley. But thank you for watching day 4. hopefully you'll join me for day 5 and you can put up with my ramblings and God knows what else. If you could like and subscribe to the channel, that'd be really helpful. Cheers. I haven't got a super amount. I don't make any money off it at the moment. Like I say, I started off doing it just for a record for my girls, really, for my daughters. But yeah, I appreciate it. It takes a lot of work. This isn't a bleed. It does take a lot of work. I love taking photos while I'm out, but it's the compiling them all when I get back. I know I've got quite a bit of work to do with 16 days worth, but I like doing it. So thank you for joining me. Hopefully you join me in tomorrow's episode of day 5 on my Southdown Waves Challenge, there and back. This is Jay from I Wander UK. I'm out here. All right.